Hi guys, welcome to another Switch Teardown. The last installment was a bit over a year ago, but I've decided to phase out the TDXL videos and instead start working on these videos again. Today we look at Kailh's new silenced box switches, specifically the pink and brown ones. Note that this is not a review, a full review will follow soon. This is just an in-depth technical look, not a judgment on how well they feel or work. The box switch, usually capitalized, was introduced by Kailh in 2017 as a more dust and waterproof alternative to Cherry MX type switches. They got their name from the contacts being enclosed in a box from which a pusher protrudes, which is this little green piece of plastic here that pushes against the slider and the contacts and which is factory lubed. According to Kailh, they're rated IP56, which means it's quite well protected against dust and waterproof enough to be able to withstand powerful jets of water. Here's what it looks like in action. Unfortunately, the pusher just falls out if you take the top off, but even with it on, it should be clear what's going on too. A protruding bit on the slider rubs against the pusher, which in turn transmits the transverse force to the contacts encased in the switch box. The other switches all use a square MX mount slider, but these silent switches use a round one, presumably to make them more visually distinguishable. As such, the top housings and sliders aren't interchangeable, but most of the other parts look at least like they're identical. It even has a notch for a click bar in it, although the sliders don't have the cam necessary for engaging them. The way they achieve the silencing part is almost exactly the same as how they silenced Cherry MX switches and Alps switches before that. There are dampening rubbers embedded in the slider to cushion the impact of the slider against the housing, which is the main source of switch noise for non-clicky switches. The good thing about this implementation, where the dampeners protrude both on top and below, is that it silences both a down and up stroke, which is excellent. As you might have guessed, the brown one is tactile and the pink one is linear. They're more or less exactly the same, except the brown slider has a notch in the cam to generate a tactile event, exactly like how it works with MX type brown switches. So far there are only these two ones. I don't know if other colors and weightings will follow. I suspect a clicky one won't follow though, as this generally defeats the point of having a silenced switch in the first place. Overall, the switch has 10 parts, a top and bottom housing, 2 contacts, a pusher, a box cover, a coil spring, the slider, and 2 dampeners, which are non-removable. That's it for this Switch Teardown. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you this weekend for another review.